SkiErging is not an easy thing to figure out. It's actually quite complex because there are so many movements involved and you have to figure all of them out yourself. So let's give you a quick fix that's going to get you faster, with more fun, and getting a better workout every time you're on this machine quickly. There's nothing worse than looking at a SkiErg knowing that you have to get a workout and just dreading it because you don't actually feel the right connection to the machine, and therefore it feels like this black hole of energy where you just dump everything into it and you don't get a whole lot out. I've gone ahead and just taken the liberty of talking to a ton of different coaches as well as the company that makes this machine to figure out what is the right way to use it and help you understand it better so that you can walk away with like a trophy. This is, or a torch, let's call it a torch. You're carrying this torch of like, yeah, I feel good and confident on this thing. That's what we're gonna give you today. So let's get into it. Let's give you this fix, get it implemented so that you can walk away with more fun and getting more out of your workouts. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Shane Farmer and this is Dark Horse Rowing, where we build better humans through rowing and SkiErging so that you can build the life that you wanna live. So what's this quick fix that you're talking about, Shane? It sounds super gimmicky. How am I possibly gonna fix all of my technique quickly? Well, you're right, it's a little bit gimmicky, and in order to hear it, I just feel like it's best that you sit down. It's seated skiing. The reason we're using seated skiing is because when the brain is trying to process that the entire body has to learn something new, it gets very overwhelmed with a lot of the different things that are going on, trying to process and work at the same time. Ah, my arms. Ah, my legs. No, what is my core doing? Ah, why are my hands doing that? What's my back supposed to be doing right now? Who am I? So by bringing the seat in, you're gonna take your legs out of the stroke, which is gonna force us to focus on just the catch position of the stroke, or the moment in time when you actually get tension on the handle. Once you figure out that phase of the stroke, we'll reintroduce the legs and let you put it all together. You only need two things for this. It's a SkiErg and a seat. Essentially, the seat should be at a height where the knees are at around 90 degrees, as close to that as possible, so that we can make sure we place that demand on the upper body of the stroke. Now, what you want to think about is establishing the right catch, or the moment of tension. We use the word catch in rowing. You can apply that same thing. Essentially, you're catching the tension or grabbing the tension. It's the moment when you actually feel resistance on the handles. That is what we are trying to establish, is a strong moment of resistance on the handles, because once you feel resistance, at the end of the day, skiing, rowing, bike erging, whatever machine you want to talk about, we're always searching for connection to the machine. That's what we're talking about when we say catch. Okay, the primary points for you to take away when it comes to the catch position. Number one, elbow at 90 degrees. Next, make a fist, cock it forward. That's as if you're holding the handle in your hand. Okay, both elbows up at that position. Next, you want the lats to be tight, because that's how you're going to tension and connect your arms to your body. The last thing you want is a loose arm overhead trying to make the shoulders do the work. Instead, bring the whole body together, core to extremity, meaning from the center out. So to do that, take your arms, elbows at 90, cock the wrist, make a fist. Elbows out, and then draw the elbows in, and you should feel these guys right here, it's called your lat, that should get tight. That's the position you want to establish each time, and then the initiation of the movement is a crunch down while the whole system contracts together. We don't get loose in the shoulders and let them come up. We take the whole thing, tension it down, boom, fire from the abs. That's where that contraction and the catch moment comes from. So from here, it's just about taking strokes to feel what it's like to get all that whole system to work together. You have to practice it. You can't just think about it in theory. You actually have to put it into action. So sitting on your butt on the seat with the handles in your hands, let's take some strokes together so you can see what it's going to look like now that I don't get to use my legs. Remember, initiation comes from crunching and staying locked in from the lats with a bent elbow. And what you're gonna notice pretty quickly is that both the shoulders, the lats, and the abs are all going to fatigue very fast. That is a good thing. You should be looking for that, because that's telling you, A, the abs are working, as well as the shoulders and the lats are all working together to become one system. As I mentioned, you have to take the strokes to do this, so I'm going to give you homework. Your homework on this is 2 by 1,000 meters with as much rest needed in between those two pieces to recover as possible. This is not intended to tire you out, although it will. Your abs, your shoulders, your lats, they're all going to feel this, but that just is practice. The goal here is not for that white hot burning, I'm dying workout. This is for you to feel the areas where this thing is going to work. So 2 by 1,000 meters, rest as needed in between them, and you're just gonna get those practice strokes in, taking as many strokes as you can with well-intentioned movement. And there are two primary errors that I want you to watch out for as you're doing this. And make sure that if these start to creep in, you either stop, reset, or adjust as you're moving. The first is that the arms are going to want to reach overhead or reach out to the sides because that's what you're used to. The objective is, as the handles finish here, you're gonna come straight back up. Let the tension on the handles. Notice if I let go, the handle flies up on its own. That tension, let that pull your arms back up each time and simply into this bent elbow position. So, do not let the hands reach high above you. Don't let them swing out to the sides, that they finish and then come right back up to that 90-degree bent elbow position. The second is making sure that you don't fold over too far as you take the stroke and depend so much on the hip hinge that you're not able to connect through the core and the arms. It's gonna be pretty obvious if this one happens because you're gonna be very close to hitting your face on the monitor or you're gonna end up looking at the ground. Those two things are signals that you are leaning over too far in the stroke. So the things I want you to focus on, make sure that the arms are getting pulled back up by the strings, the elbows are in that bent position when you catch, and that you are simply making a small movement through the core. Not a big lean over where I'm face planting into the monitor. Okay, you've practiced those strokes, you've taken your 2 by 1,000 meters. It's time to actually stand up, get rid of the seat, and start to put this and implement this into your normal stroke. Now, it's really important, look at my face when I'm telling you this because it's gonna be really critical that you pick up on my expressions.
You're a funny guy, Sully.
As we're discussing what it is that you wanna be accomplishing in the real stroke. So with those mechanics in place, you're not gonna change anything other than giving yourself the slight advantage of getting all of your mass on top of the handle now, but what you should understand is how do I establish that tension on the handle? How do I put a crunch into the stroke? And then it's just a follow through with the legs essentially. You're just gonna let your weight or your mass get on top of the handle a little, giving yourself that hip hinge that we practiced on the seat. Now you just get a slight knee bend in the stroke. And it's not this massive addition. It's just a little bit of a follow through, imagining that your weight is carrying on the handles and that the knees bend softly, just as if you were on skis, and that you're pushing through the handles. Just like we push in the rowing stroke, you're gonna push on top of these handles as well. So let's take a look at what the mechanics look like after we've taken that drill, the seated drill, and put it into real mechanics. As with all things movement, these little mechanical changes are gonna create a big impact in the way that your stroke feels, in the way that the workout feels. You should be feeling a lot more confident with this drill because it's helping you engage through the midline and the lats, two of the biggest slippage areas where you tend to lose a lot of mechanics and a lot of force production on the machine. Using this drill is going to be very effective for your technique. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so that you get alerted when we come out with more SkiErg videos. And in the meantime, check out this playlist on all of our SkiErg technique so that you can keep getting better every single day.